A zoomy, 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 zoomy. Zoomy. So, well, I'm going to mess around here, and I'm liking this ship, by the way. We were going to wait a minute because there's this thing. George, what are you doing? Mr. Meow Meow? Have to forgive the cat. He's going meow meow crazy. He's lost his darn mind. I don't know why I've got so many of those. Maybe I should do a beam in there somewhere. There we go. We'll put a beam in there. I don't need so many forward beamers. Okay, as you can see, I think I'm rank 30. So I think a lot of this stuff's going to go away. That usually works on multiple people. Okay. So I've hit rank 30, mastered the ship, and now we got to keep moving. Difficult part is hitting rank 30. I need to hit rank 50. 50 at least. 50 or 40. We got to make it a away team. Lure. Colas is human. The rest of them are holograms. Yes, unfortunately, I don't have many. We'll make her on an away team. And we'll put Otis on an away team. You know, I always thought that maybe we should have one medical officer, maybe? Yeah, one medical officer. And all freaking tactical. I was like, well, why do you do tactical? Well, the simple thing is this. If you had an away team, what would you want? Would you want tactical and engineer, or would you just want all tactical? That's the question. So I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, then we'll go with engineer, medical, and tactical. Yeah, we'll do the roundabout. Okay, I haven't opened the box yet because I don't want to open the box until I get to a certain rank. Yes, that's the whole point. So Delta Recruit is going forward. What mission we got? Let's do a mission. Let's show you how missions work. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to show you how a mission works. Alright, ready? Emperor Sela. That's what I think of that. Well, see, I can tell you the reason why a character came back on Star Trek. See, back in Star Trek days when Gene Roddenberry was running it, right? Right, think of that. Let's fix that. Okay. I gotta mute TV too. I don't think I did that. Alright, there we go. So, back in the day when Gene Roddenberry was making Star Trek Next Generation, okay? The first season didn't go so well. Alright? Now, before we start going, oh, what are you going to say? Well, calm down, calm down. The first season didn't go so well because CBS was kind of arguing about what he was doing. He was trying to make it look like his original picture. And it needed to be a little new and more modern, right? So, while he was seeing his vision and everything and all that, and I saw it a lot in the show, he was putting his input in, he was doing really, really good, but the fans weren't, how do I say it? The fan base was much different than what they were used to, okay? And I'm not saying the old fans weren't back, because the new fans were starting and the watching it was different. Okay. Yeah, okay, we gotta follow this butthead. So as I was saying, and then, you know, some of the actors were like, okay, I'm not gonna stand here and be a pair of shoes in the background, you know what I mean? So therefore, what was her name? Denise Crosby played Lieutenant Yar, right? And she decided that before the first season was over, when the first season was over, she wasn't coming back, is what she told him. And he was fine with that because it was her choice to, you know, quit. and the contract and all that, and things like that. And she had made up her mind before the first season was over, and they had written a show where she was gonna apparently get killed by an alien monster, which she did, and that was gonna end it for her. She was gonna stop being on it, because she didn't think it was gonna go very far past the first season the way it was running. Well, what happened was, yes, George, was of course Gene Roddenberry got sick. Is what happened. He started getting Alzheimer's and going downhill and things like that. So the company kind of got secondary writers to back up his writing, and things like that, right? So eventually they started writing more stuff, and he started writing less stuff, but he still was still trying to keep it stuck to his vision and to see how it would run, because to be honest, he created all of it. It wouldn't, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have it. And that first season went through hell. It went up and down. A lot of viewers liked some of the parts, but they didn't like other parts. The new fans coming in were so, blah, blah, blah. Right? Well, lo and behold, during that season, I guess, and easy, because I know she did it. I think she did it. There was a rumor or something that she went on Playboy while she was still working for Paramount, which Denise Crosby did not. She had finished her season out, her contract was over, then she went and did a Playboy shoot, right? Because they asked her to do it because she was a star of Star Trek, right? So she went and did it, and of course that's the reason why she got fired, according to all the rumors and the bullshit, which it was not. She had just signed off from the show because she was a pair of boots that was in a corner, right? Because all you saw was her pair of boots behind Picard at the walkway. You know what I mean? And she really wasn't much of a actress in the show. You didn't see her face a lot. Unless there were certain episodes she was involved in. Then there was the episode where the five wives were fighting over... Okay. There was an episode where the wives were fighting over... or it was an all-black planet. The wives were fighting over something, and Tasha was involved, right? There was that episode. That episode was kind of damning for the first season because it was like the third episode in, or second episode I think it was, and it was all about black people having their own planet, and then black people took it as, oh, you want to move us to a planet so we don't have to deal with you and get rid of, white folks take over the world. I don't know why I got that way, but that was what they thought of it. That's why they called it a racist episode, which I always thought it was really stupid because it wasn't. It was an alien race that was on a planet, and they all happened to be colored, right? So there was another hurdle. Okay, so a lot of people thought that the first season wasn't going to last longer than 2 seasons and be done with it, because usually they run 2 seasons. So that was done. And that's what happened to that. Lo and behold, nobody thought that Next Generation was going to last maybe 1 or 2 seasons, right? And then the second season hit. The story writing got better, this and that, and Gene kind of faded in the background. He did help. He did put his thoughts in here and there, but like I said, he faded into the background because, as I said, he was getting older and he was getting sicker and so on and so forth. And don't get me wrong, because Gene started all this. If it wasn't for Gene, we wouldn't have it. You know what I mean? And Gene's vision is still there, just not as, how do I say it, as black and white as it used to be. You know what I mean? Because Gene always had a habit of, this was this, and this is how it's going to be, and this is black and white, and that's the way it was. There was no fine line in between. And then, of course, the characters got to run their characters more and do things, and they followed what he told them. in the beginning and how he wanted them.
Less treacherous. No matter. You may have destroyed these weapons, but my fleet is already
Oh, that's different. It's a whole different setup.
Cannot stop what has begun.
Nice.
Capture the
Well, like I said, the show took off and it lit a fire under everybody's ass to watch it. It got better and better and better, and the more seasons came, and I mean, I'll be honest, that's my generation. That's there is no way around that. That is my generation Star Trek. That is what we know. I mean, then came one of my other favorites because I wanted to see it just because of what it was. Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine became a mainstay or something we wanted to see because it was different. It was a space station in Star Trek, right? So we all watched that. But anyways, Denise Crosby, with the situation and the way it was and what happened, was she was kind of blackballed by CBS at first. And then later on in the writers, they decided that, okay, we're going to write her back in. You know, because she wanted to come back. She seriously wanted to come back. And they were like, okay, we can't really bring her back because she's dead, right? So they made an episode called, oh shit, was it the Enterprise C? No, I don't think that was the title of that episode. I can't remember what the fucking episode title was. I'm not a full-blown freaking every episode, every number Trekkie. Yesterday's Enterprise, that was it. It had to come to me. And what happened was is that something screwed up in the timeline, or the Enterprise C went through a portal and came somewhere else, right? Came into a different timeline, and it caused a time rift to happen, which caused Yara to come back, right? She wasn't dead because she never died there, because, you know, the timeline changed. Which temporal mechanics really gives everybody a headache. It's neat, but it really gives everybody a headache. So she came back, and she was alive on the Enterprise crew, and they were fighting the Klingons, and Worf was gone because basically he was a Klingon, and we were warring with the Klingons instead of, you know, things like that. Because he never needed to get saved because, you know, the sea was never there. So they had to write the timeline, and when they did, Picard tells her that she's dead in the other timeline, or Guinan does. So she decides that she's no help to when the timeline changes back, so she's going to help the Enterprise C crew, which causes Empress Sela to be born. You know, and then she comes back later for Emperor Sela's and Romulus parts, which was great. I mean, it was a hell of an idea for a rewrite, so she could come back later and play a villain. But I'm sure there's Star Trekkies out there, and hold on before we start this go round. I love Star Trek. I love every aspect of it, not just the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay. Some people didn't think it was good that she would come back. Other people wanted her back because she was good looking. You know what I mean? There's a million reasons about Denise Crosby, okay, coming back. I think, but she had to go through things in her life that made things a little difficult. You know. So she took care of that. I mean, she changed a lot. She's, you know, done some things. She's moved on. She's been in other shows. And, you know. People don't realize that generations changed because of things. Love this ship. Love those torpedoes. I think it sucks that it takes a while to recharge them, but they are godly. So like I said, Star Trek has always been open, interesting. It's been on reruns, so when you're down and out and it's late at night and your world sucks, you know, Star Trek was on, so you could see it. And then it will give you hope that the world is not going to turn into a shit cesspool, you know. And I will say that always for Star Trek because that's the way it was. You know, me, I liked it because of the ships. Seriously, I'm a ship addict in here because I did like it for the ships. And don't get me wrong, because some of the ships I think are ugly as hell. But you kind of had to do things. I'm more of a fine line Federation man myself. Hold the line. Da, da, da. Well, that's neat. Well, anyways, and this game was basically made for Star Trek fans, I think. I think it's a hell of a game. A lot of us love it. We love to play it. I mean, all Star Trek fans, anyway. A lot of fans love it. You can make your own ship, you can be your own captain, and you can, you know, save the universe. That's why. You can also make characters in the show for some of us that do that. I mean, I do it. I love doing it. Hence, Jack Picard Crusher. Yeah. That's the whole reason why he's made. The lure of all of that. He's about to go down. Damn. Yeah, defeating Sealer was easy. We all know you cloaked, sweetheart. We know you didn't get away. She cloaked and took off. Debris my ass. Lying buggers. How do I say this? I never thought, and still to this day, don't think there's a bad Star Trek. I don't. I just don't think there is.
Congratulations, Captain.
And I know a lot of people will sit there and say, well, no, there's a bunch of them, there's this, that. No. There is no bad Star Trek. Okay? There can't be. There just isn't. And I know that sounds weird, and I know you're going to get a little irritated, but seriously, there isn't. Because a lot of people don't understand that Star Trek has still had the same fundamental beliefs in every show. Every show. Everybody's treated equal. All alien races should be treated equal. All races and species and sexes and everything should be treated equal. Okay? Now, lately with everything going on, there's a lot of push this in my face politics. Okay? And sadly, like every other show and TV, some of it has drove into the home, you know, on Star Trek. And before you start, Discovery is not one of those. I don't think it is. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because Discovery has every element. Every element. Trannies, of the LGBTQ community, and they all work together to make that show work. And yes, I know it's been canceled, but the show's ran 5 years. Okay? Now, most Star Trek shows, except for a few exceptions, have never run longer than 7 or 11. Do you understand? Some haven't even made it to 4. So, Discovery, yes, has probably grown past its prime. The writers might be done. The actors might be tired. Okay, because they put in, what, 4 or 5, I think it's 6 seasons now, right? Yeah. Or 5 seasons, okay? Plus, they have some other Star Trek shows they want to put on the menu, right? Which, that's why I'm glad they're very tight-lipped, because it's not like Star Wars going nuts. Okay, now, as far as politics go, okay, I always thought Star Trek should have BDSM playrooms in their apartments. I always thought Star Trek should have swingers and stuff like that. Phlox was a prime example of this because Phlox's race had more than one wife, more children, more than one husband. You know what I mean? His race was, his whole planet was integrated through love and peace and connectivity, right? I thought that's why I love this character. Because nothing bothered Phlox, because Phlox always looked at it from a different angle. Or outside the box. Right? Right. And for some of us in the lifestyle, we all look outside the box. Right? Or we should. And I think that's what they tried to show with Phlox. And Enterprise kind of went down the tubes because they were showing a lot all at once, right? And at the time, I don't think the world was ready for it. But then again, you have a very diverse group in Star Trek fans, okay? And I'm sorry, I will say this. You have a very diverse group with Star Trek fans because fans are Spock, right? Spock was a known character to be different than everybody on the crew. And Leonard Nimoy played it that way because that's the way it fit. You know what I'm saying? And here's a thumbs up because he was that good at it. Okay? He showed you what it was like to be different in a building or in a ship full of people that were different from him. You know? When Enterprise come on, T'Pol did the same thing. Okay? She was more, how do I say this? How do we put it? Didn't care for humans as much in the beginning until she learned to like them. You know what I mean? And she was all Vulcan, which is what everybody couldn't understand. They wanted her to be more like Spock, and it's like, no, Spock was a half-breed. Spock was human and Vulcan, where she was all Vulcan. You know what I mean? And at first, Vulcans and us didn't get along at all. You know? They thought we were uncouth, not so smart, you know, Neanderthals, right? And that's what they portrayed in that show, was because they were worried that we'd go out into the universe and screw it up because it was harmonic the way they thought that it should be, okay? And yes, that's very sexist and racist and however you want to put it, or speciest, but that's what they figured because they saw what we did. They knew our history. They knew who we were. You know what I mean? And at that time, do you think that watching the show and being a fan, do you think we were ready for what Archer threw us into? And even Archer at some point says the same thing. He says we weren't ready. We needed more time. You know, and he was right, because we went out in the world thinking that humans could fix everything. And sometimes in Star Trek shows, that's what we do. We tend to stick our humanity into everybody else. But is it the right thing to do? I mean, and in the world right now, as you can see, there's a lot of diversity. There's this faction against that faction. There's this politicians against this politicians. There's, you know what I mean? And you think of it from an outside planet alien species point of view. Would you want to know us? Right? And I know that sounds rude and everything else, but it's the truth. Would you? Would you really want to know us? You know? So then it comes down to what's going to happen if an outside species ever comes to see us, alien race, right? But that's not the point. The point is this. We can't get along with ourselves. How are we going to get along with somebody else? And that is the fundamental of Star Trek. Is every show shows humanity in a better light than it's ever been shown. And no offense, and I will say this, and I'm a bigot, I'm stuck on my own ways, and I've been taught a certain way, and I live that way all the time. Okay? I do. I live this way all the time because it's the way I know and it's the way I like to live. Right? But even I'm not the best example of humanity. And that, I don't, But I can tell you this, and I'll tell you this always. There is no perfect example of humanity. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no, you're going to be better than this person, that person's better than you because of the color of the skin, or whether they got boobs, or all kinds of organs, or, you're never going to be better than everybody else. That's just the way it is. You need to be you. Fuck everybody else. It's not that point. I don't need to be a trainee because I don't want to be a trainee. That's a simple question, okay? I don't need to stop playing a game because they say so. Well, too bad. I'm going to play this game because I want to play this freaking game. It's that simple. And the problem with today is everybody's trying to see this stuff, and they're like shooting it and telling everybody, well, I'm going to shove it down your throat. Well, here's the thing. If I came to your house and did the same thing, would you like it? No. There's your answer. And that's the difference between wrong and right. There's your answer. You can't choose for people what they want to choose. It's never going to happen that way. You shouldn't even try. If you're... And then it goes on the opposite direction. Okay? I don't have to like if you want all organs, sexual organs, and have fun with it or whatever. That's not my job to like it. But here's the thing that you're not getting. It's not my job to tell you can't do it either. Right?
We now know the Romulans I have.
Congratulations.
Is it? Is it my job to tell you you can't live the way you want to live? No, it's not.
I have new missions.
Now, before we start on that situation, there's laws in this country, and if you want to change them, you have to change them by going through the system. Okay? So if you don't like some of the laws in this country, that's, that's the way you do it. Use your voting power to change that system. Okay? But you don't use it for anvil. You don't use it for, how do I say this? Dividing your family up. I don't think, how do I say this? I come from a multiple family. I have people that are in the LGBT community, right, in my family. I have, my cousin actually is a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Couldn't ask for a better person. I always adore her. We don't always agree? No. But then again, how many families actually always agree? Right? But I wouldn't throw her out of dinner on Christmas, you know what I mean, because of who she is. Never happened. Right? Nope, I wouldn't. Because I don't care. But then again, I have another uncle who's a Republican, and I'm not a Republican, but I wouldn't throw him out of Christmas either if he came to Christmas dinner. My mother would still make a plate, because that's the way my mother was always taught to be. That's always how I was taught to be. You know what I mean? And that's where you don't understand Star Trek.
Scientists are adapting
Because every time in Star Trek,
Federation crew caught in an impossible
there's a
situation
crew.
fights to survive.
They're all family. They're all friends. And guess what? They're all different. There ain't one of them that are the same.
In their anguish, the Romulans could cause a greater tragedy than even they imagined.
And no matter what, I always see Star Trek and humanity as peaceful people. They don't want to fight each other anymore. Nope, they don't care if they sit next to a black Klingon or Romulan or anybody that they work with in their environment. They don't try to outdo the other or be better than the other. They just do their damn jobs. You notice? So as far as I'm concerned, humanity has changed in their environment, and that's the way they always portray it. And hopefully, someday, that's the way it will be. Probably not in my time, but we'll hope. Anyways, listening alone in the van. Uh-oh, what'd you do? Ah, parents to do laundry. Yes. Laundry is fun to do. Hi, little one. Just grinding out Star Trek today. Finding something to do myself. Because I did the dishes and everything else. Anyways, as a nerdy fan, I'm done talking about that stuff.
Yes, the Empire. A number of our...
And yes, this game looks a little old, but for 13 years, it's kind of old. But they've redone some modeling and stuff and made it look better in some areas. Alright, let's speak to the envoy again.
Well...
I think you should go with... join the Republic. There. Cute. Is that guy? I'm gonna kill later in his ship. Just anyways. He's going down. Beam up. We're going. Yep, doing laundry, van, housework, stuff like that. That's what Sunday's usually for. Well, I was going to take the day off, but I decided not to. I can remember when these things were scary in Enterprise Next Generation. Now, watch. Boom. Poor bugger. Didn't know anything. Yeah, we gotta lay in the course because we're gonna get out by the barrier. Quip heads? What do you mean? Depends. Quip heads. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, they still kind of have some weird hairstyles, but the character factor of building characters isn't quite as bad as it used to be. But this game's always improving too. They work on it all the time. Oh, Q-tips. Yeah, that's what we call those as Q-tips. I don't know what you call them. Quip heads? Never heard of that. Unless that's the company that makes them. Yeah, Q-tips. That's it. Okay. Okay, beam down to the surface. Nope, surprisingly for a game, this isn't a bad community. Console communities are usually toxic anyways because they're console communities. I know a lot of people are like, well, PlayStation isn't, Nintendo isn't. It's like, bull crap. They're all toxic communities. Too many egos and competing. So I tend to stay away from games that do that a lot. Well, can't say that because once in a while I like to play PvP. But I'm more looking at my spread and how many kills and deaths I got that round. I don't care about who I'm playing against. Okay, buggies. Scan colonist. Okay, let's see. Now we gotta go this way and scan a crater or a beacon. Yeah, I like the Enterprise show weapons. I think they're neat. The best weapons, though, are actually lower decks. Yep. Lower deck has a phaser that does like multiple shots and kills everybody. Because of that, what was it? The movie episode in Lower Decks where, what's her name, runs around and kills everybody on the crew because she's playing like a Klingon. And she has this phaser that shoots like 8 different ways. Yeah, it's the fun one to use in here. And she made a Q-tip. Yep, George likes to play with Q-tips. He's a Goomba. Oh, I didn't tell you what happened with poor George today. He had a bad day. My lovely George likes to capture and torture bugs. Animals, bugs, whatever, mustags, butterflies, whatever you can think of that gets in the house, right? And he loves to torture them, capture them, and do whatever he wants with them. Because to him, they're a lower life form, apparently. So today, as he was trying to torture a little bug, I didn't notice what the bug was, but it was like a baby beetle, right? Like a black beetle, you know. And black beetles have pinchers for a face, and they use them because that's their mouth, right? Well, it was a baby one. It was a little one. He couldn't have been no bigger than freaking pencil head, or, you know, a pencil eraser about that big on a pencil. And George, when they don't behave, like, well, he'll bat him with a paw and he'll make him turn. Like, they'll turn away from his paw, and he does this to, you know, this is the torture. Okay? He keeps batting them so they'll turn and turn and turn and turn and go where he wants them to. Well, the minute it doesn't go where he wants them to, he eats it. Right? That's, you didn't mind, so now I'm going to eat you. That's the way he looks at it. Right? So, he bit the beetle, right? Who the hell are you? Okay, that was weird. So he bites the beetle, right? Well, the beetle bites his tongue back. So he jumps up with a foot in the air and spits the beetle out while he's going, you know, sticking his tongue out, going, la, 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 right? And he looks at me like, did you see that? So Dad had to save him from the beetle, and I had to squash it and kill it. It gets in from outside. I have like a crack under my door, and we redid the flooring, and it's kind of like there now, and I gotta fix it for winter or something. I gotta figure out how to fix it, because when we redid the flooring, it wasn't put back the way it should have. So, poor George had his issue. No, actually, they look. Maybe not. I don't know.
Grateful beyond words for your help.
Yeah, they kind of do.
In the nick of time.
The Romulans, anyways.
Glad you could join us. Concentrate fire on their command ship.
Yeah, there's no very random on the face making deal for the NPCs. But you can make your crew any way you want now. Well, almost. I still wish you could update them a little bit. But I gotta get a hold of somebody, because I know somebody on the computer that does it, but I'm sure there's somebody on the console that can do it. She literally makes her crew into anybody on any crew in the show. On her ships, which is neat. Like, she can make Wharf, Crusher, anybody. And they look almost like him, too. But she says it takes like hours, and I don't think I want to sit around for hours trying to make my crew look like that. So I bought the holo versions. Da-da-da. No, actually, you just got to get used to the crew building system. As far as NPCs, yes, sometimes they look a little weird. But it also depends on what you're playing it on. On console, they don't look too bad. On behalf of the Romulan Empire. Bye-bye. See ya. No, if you played this like years ago and then came back to it, you'd be a lot different than you think. I hate plasma weapons, so I'll take it just so I can get rid of it.
The cause of the supernova that destroyed Romulus remains.
No, not going there. We're gonna skip that and go to do missions. Patrols. There's a mission in this chapter that I really can't stand. It's right here. It's called the Coliseum. Yeah, that's it. Then the one before that is called the Vault, which really is kind of a pain in the butt. But as you can see, it's right after Tartarus. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go to patrols now and start leveling up our character again.
Thank you for coming to our...
The rank we're looking for is 65, so I've got about 30 more to go. But believe me, in 2 days, I think 35 is pretty good. You just gotta know the right patrols to hit and mass damage and mass kills all at once. It also helps if you get a few. Oh, that's what I should be doing. Grabbing some XP tokens and handing them to this guy. Yeah, I didn't say it was the greatest game. I just said it's a good game. As far as Star Trek goes, this is a very good game. It's one of the few that I actually liked. They've made about 15 over the years, but this one's more or less functional, usable, and decent. Some of them are just crap.
We did it. Sent to.
And I will say that. Some of them are just crap.
That rift's unstable. We need to hurry, or those ships won't make it.
Like I said, love the Star Trek universe, but not always all of us humans are, you know, in a good place.
Your vessels are warping into your position.
See, ding dong. I love this ship. It's great. But apparently I have an addiction to ships and we should never have that. Nope. It's very expensive.
Truly.
Alright. Believe it or not, you can play this game for free, because when I first played it, I refused to put money into it. Right? I played this for like a year and I didn't put any money
One
into it.
less rift to worry about. Let's regroup with
And then the next year I was like, everybody's talking about T6 ships and I don't have one. What the frig? And my T5 was kicking butt. It was doing really good
Klingons are approaching our position.
with the gear I had. Of course, it needed to be modified some. This is where I'm going to make some experience. What's that red circle up there? Go around and around with the yellow bar. If I get over there to make it.
Congratulations.
There we go. There's another rank. There's another rank coming up. Another rank. See that bar go? Really quick. Oh, now I'm going to have to pull out another way to do it. Yeah, I do this for about 3 or 4 hours a day, and I'll be 65 in a couple more days. Probably less than that if I do it longer than 3 or 4 hours. No. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ships has an ability to make me fly off like that. That. The yellow bar bar. Okay. Now, see all this stuff I can't pick up? It's because my inventory's full. So we're going to park on that blue one.
I think that was the lot. Indeed. In the meantime.
And we're going to say, not now. We're going to park on that blue one. Right on top of it. Right there. And I go in the inventory. And we're going to delete the crap. That's crap. There's crap. There's crap. Why didn't they pick up the... There's the blue one. That's a shield. That's crap too. Don't get me wrong. These are actually useful things if you've never played the game before and you're just starting out. But where I've been playing this for a long time, and I got a T6 ship, and this gear it has on it will go until I'm about 50, and then I'm going to have to change it out with the gold stuff in my inventory. And as you can see, I got gold stuff, see? Toys. So yeah, I gotta go back to Space Talk. Yep. Alright, so we speak to Kamaki, choose a reward, and 30 Omegas. I don't know if I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go Discovery way with this one. I was doing it with the card because he's kind of human engineer, drawing tactic. Go another human engineer. I think we need one. Okay.
I think that was in.
That's it. Depart system, we're out. Yep. Now we go back to... put this point over here. Definitely got to put long range targeting sensors, at least 1 or 2 on that. Okay, got to put 1 here. Alright, back to station, space station. Transport, full system. Yep, because the video is almost ended. Ba-da-da-da. So, laundry, housework. Ugh, I don't want to do more housework today. Nope. I want to sit in front of this Xbox and vegetate after my video is over. What do you think, George? Think we ought to vegetate? He's sleeping on the couch. Lazy cat. Now, as I said about ugly ships, ta-da! And then we have this one. Here, I'll show you another one. But it's kind of cool because it's like the original Enterprise movie, the first Star Trek original TOS generation movie. You know, with V'ger, that's the one. And you actually get the ship, which is cool. It's called the Science Destroyer. Yep. Yeah, I don't like the Enterprise J. I think it's the ugliest Enterprise there is. That one right there. That's why I don't have it. Looks like a pancake with some wire nacelles to it. Yep. That's my opinion on that. Now I'm docking. I'm going into the space station. No, they've redone a lot of the game. See, as you can see, they actually don't look too pasty-faced or Q-tip-ish. And a lot of times, if it's looking Q-tip-ish on your computer, it's because your vid card ain't good enough to handle it. Or your settings are different. So I don't use computer. But check this dude out. Look at this guy. Papa Smurf. There's another guy that like makes suits from Marvel characters. Like the other day he went by me and he was wearing Wolverine. Oh, they're having a dance party. Now the dances do need some improvement. Let's make some plants, baby. Oh no, the Genesis device is gonna explode! Alright, we're off. Some of the armor. And then you have the Amazon chicks, the Amazon ladies, that are like 4 times your size. There's a real cool dude. Well, that guy's pretty neat. That was awesome. He's a cat. No, there's a real cool dude that like makes midget aliens. One of them actually looks like the UFO ones in the UFO shows, with the bulbous head and the big eyes. Yeah, they do some weird stuff in here. But anyways, so I'm done for this video today. Thank you for watching. Thank you again, little one, for being a part of it, as always. Now what? That's a good question. I'm going to sit here and play around. Is that another Picard? There's another Picard. How many Picards? That's because the Picard show's on. U.S. Delta Exploration Cruiser retrofit? What? T5U? Who the hell uses it? Well, that's free to play people who use those. Can't say anything. It used to be the same way. Except mine was what was it? The 3 nacelle Galaxy Explorer. The Dreadnought. Play with what? What? Oh, whoa, we know what you're thinking. I'm going to play this game and level up. That's what I'm going to do today. Little brat. Oh. Oh. I think I need a new chair. Anyways, so, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I'm going to call it for today. Thank you for watching, like I said. Much appreciated. I will be back around tomorrow, probably doing the same thing. If I'm not, I will do I got to do a pistol and knife run on Resident Evil at some point. So we either videotape it or we'll just do it. Alright. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. This is Arthas Frost.